Good evening. How are you today?
Excellent. Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. I appreciate you being here. Thanks for coming on to the Q.A.C. Team Podcast. Let's go ahead and get started and tell our audience who you are and what you do.
Oh yeah, sure. My name is Gabriel Serban Chinole. I'm an executive coach working for almost 20 years with leaders, team leaders, managers in transition with getting new roles in this new environment that post-pandemic kind of requires a lot of reskilling, new ways of motivating your team and things like such. Yeah, this is what I'm
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah, it's been great to talk to you because that's definitely something that we are challenged with. It's definitely been interesting since the pandemic.
Yeah. I mean, the before pandemic, yeah, I was doing pretty much the same thing, but it seems like right now the topics are slightly changed. I mean, the old leadership models and way of managing people,
Yeah.
getting them engaged and all that. This is not something that we are inventing now. But for some reason, um, many businesses change their, let's say, the way they work with people, the so-called employer experience. Not only because the main focus on the big companies or any kind of business would be for satisfying your clients, uh, make your service or product profitable and all that. But less and less, it was a focus on, well, what about the employees? What about their satisfaction? What about how they feel, how they can get engaged, motivated, and so on.
Yeah.
So the my clients, for instance, that when I get hired in those coaching platforms that I work for, my clients are sometimes saying that it's very different now because
Yeah.
you must motivate and kind of get everybody on board and keep them happy somehow. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a challenge. So tell us a bit about why you decided to be a business owner. What drove this?
Yeah, well, that's many years ago. That's almost. I mean, next year will be 24 years since I'm an entrepreneur. So I decided to step in and let's say live the corporate life. Um in 2000, I was graduating my MBA program, and I had some I don't know, some challenges or to accept some things in the like a manager who has opened three, four projects in a new market like in the Balkans. I kind of wanted to see how is it to do it for myself, and I
Yeah.
started very small. It was really a small. Actually, it was a transition from getting paid a salary to getting, let's say, a contract with one client. So
Yeah.
it was more like fooling myself around that I'm an entrepreneur, but I was working just for one client. That
Yeah.
was at the very beginning, and the let's say the major change came when I thought that my mindset need to change and to have more clients, perhaps multiple clients, and from that moment on, I really started, let's say, to build my coaching, my consulting, my
Yeah.
workshop facilitation business. Yes.
Yeah. So what made you choose this industry?
You mean coaching, the
Yeah.
professional coaching?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question. I first I I learned the ropes of facilitating workshops and training, which is a branch of consulting in a sense. However, I was not happy with this. For some reason, I got to this feeling that, all those workshops where, okay, I work for somebody, I deliver some content, I meet those guys, I get engaged. We get friends in 2, 3 days during that training, and then everything it's over. So for some reason, emotionally, I thought that maybe there is something else. It was something inside of me, and I read an article about. It was written by one of my first mentors, Steve Mita, and he's a very famous. Okay, he's a recognized coach from Canada, and he was describing what he is doing, how he's working with the clients. So something clicked there, and this is how everything started. I signed for one of his programs. It was actually a marketing for coaches program, and I was not even a coach at that time. I was making money, I was having clients, I was doing pretty okay.
Mhm.
So he asked me actually, why are you here? I said, well, I was just curious. I have no idea what this coaching means because I make money. There is no problem with what I'm doing. It's just this feeling that, I kind of uh, get these clients and then they are gone, get these clients, they are gone. So, it's this. So this is how I started in this industry and I'm doing since.
Yeah, so
So,
it's kind of a calling, right? Like it called you, you're there, you show up
yeah.
and
Yeah,
like, yeah,
actually, he was not imposing me anything. He said, "Look, I was deciding to travel to US at that time, and he said, if you have time, sign for a fundamentals training course for CDI Coaching Training Institute, and see if it was like $500. See if it fits you. If you like it, you may consider this as a shift, as a pivot,
yeah,
as a whatever."
yeah,
If not, I mean, you just spend 3 days on for $500 and that's it. And
yeah,
the rest is history because it was very, very, for me, it was a life change.
yeah,
From that very moment, I just felt that, yeah, this is something that I was looking for. Okay, not understanding everything. I mean, it took me years to
mhm,
kind of understand and now mastering the
yeah.
skill. I mean, I can look back 20 years and say, yeah, I was not really understanding too much at that time. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about some certifications you have. You have a couple of certifications.
Oh, yeah. I mean that part that's interesting because if you would ask me back in 2005 when I started, what do you want to be or where do you want to go and all that, I would say, oh, I just want to be a master certified coach without understanding what does it mean that, or it was just that kind of the common thread with when I was going for an MBA. I said I just want to go in an MBA. But I was not asking myself a deep why. Why would you want to get in an MBA? I mean,
Yeah,
what is that bringing to you? So the same was for this, let's say, rank or whatever certification or level. And that was back in 2005. So I went through let's say the 2 levels of certification till I was a professional certified coach. I think in 2009. So pretty fast in four
nice.
years.
Mhm.
After that, it was kind of a period, a very good period for coaching here in the Balkans, and I got many projects, and coaching was not so spread and known, and a guy with my type of experience was not, I mean, we were maybe 5 to 10 coaches in the whole country. So it was pretty good at that time. So that was um, maybe the reason why I said, okay, for me, maybe this is enough. And for many years, I was just doing projects. I was getting in all kind of verticals with all kind of clients. Till I got this kind of moment when I said, okay, what about the last level, the master level? Because that was my dream. That was my initial, thought.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that was a painful journey to get this master level because it took me almost 2 years, maybe 1 year and a half, 18 months, something like this. And the big obstacle was to let go whatever I knew about coaching, all my experience, all the platform, and really change my mindset and engage in a new way with clients and being able to, I don't know, it was a very transforming experience. So basically, at a certain moment, I wanted to quit because I tried several times to submit those recordings and they were almost there, almost there. So I said, you know what, I'm okay with that, with this level. Maybe it's not for me. I cannot reach it. So anyway, but the point was, it was me that I was trying too hard. I was pushing too hard against this goal, against this thing. And finally, it was about choosing the right client. This
Yeah.
is the epiphany that I had. And yes, I had a client that at that time I was teaching professional coaching. So I had this client. She was very young. She was like 18 years old, unlike all my clients, but very smart, very good experience. Traveled with her parents all over the world. So I asked her, would you be my client to demonstrate my coaching for my master level? And she said, yeah, why not? So we recorded some sessions and I passed the exam. That's
That's
it.
and that's good because you said something key that you want a specific client. You didn't just go after anybody. You hit a target market, right? That's key, right? Because we tend to think that we can market to anybody, but yet we're looking for specifics, and that's you clearly said that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, well, even the other two were not bad. Let's say they were in this cold target.
Hmm.
Now, but the lesson is in order to demonstrate this kind of level, uh, it has to be the kind of the perfect match for
Yeah.
chemistry, which
Yeah.
is sometimes difficult to reach because
Yeah.
it's like in a, I don't know, maybe the best analogy is like in a voice contest. If you look at the voice, the show or something,
Yeah.
you may be a great singer, but you need to demonstrate in the exam, in a specific moment,
Yeah.
that all the things that you master, you can show them.
Yeah.
Even, nobody will tell you, okay, you cannot coach or anything, but you have to demonstrate, to be kind of like in a symphony, for instance. They need to, the conductor, when he conducts the orchestra, everybody needs to produce the perfect notes.
Yeah.
There is no fault note. One note breaks the
Throws it
symphony.
all off. Yes, it
Yeah,
does.
so that's the thing. That's why it's kind of difficult. But
Yeah.
anyway, so, and the irony is that I got this level in 2020 and my certification arrived in March when we were in homes because of the pandemic times.
Right.
So we couldn't do anything. I couldn't celebrate. It was like, okay, I'm a master and what? Nothing
Right.
happens. Yeah.
Yeah. And what a great segue, right? Because you just talked about here, you're sitting at home in 2020 with the certification, can't do anything with it. What a great segue to what were some of the challenges that you faced, doing this and getting this coaching business going?
Yeah, those times were very interesting. Now,
Yeah.
I mean, they are not so far. They are just like what 4 years back.
Yeah. It's
But
going to come
it
coming up
was
on 5 years. Yeah.
almost five,
Yeah.
yes. But it was very, very interesting because everything stopped. It's like you're in a plane or something and the engine stops. What do you
Yeah.
do? And I didn't know what to do. I remember I started a course in, I think, human behavior, something in Stanford. I was watching a professor, a famous professor from Stanford. With that, and apart from that, I was starting to watch a lot of opera because the Met from New York were broadcasting, were giving for the in pandemic times for free all their operas. So I said, okay, well, maybe it's time for me to learn about opera and to see the operas. I had a lot of time, not knowing what to do.
As we all
Yeah.
did, right?
Yeah, like we all did. And
Yeah.
eventually, from all this opera and studying some other things, I I decided to develop some new things. So,
Nice.
and I did. I did some. I mean, I was doing some research from
Hmm.
my programs, as you said, with the target clients. I looked for some commonalities, some threads. I got in touch with them by phone,
Right.
and then this is the way I developed my first accelerator for team leaders. And after that, I just rewrote an entire curriculum for a coaching academy that I launched 1 year after. So
Mhm.
basically, I also I think I launched. A wine tasting virtual class because we couldn't meet in person. So I was sending wine and a glass for this, and I ran a course on wine tasting because wine
Wine
is a
tasting.
passion of mine. So yeah, my wife said if you cannot do anything, projects or live things, why don't you do a wine tasting, a virtual one? Do you think people will be interested? Yeah, I mean everybody is in the house, they do nothing. Why not? So yeah,
Yeah.
and it was pretty successful that as well. So
I was
it
going to say, and it worked, right? It actually was successful. Yeah.
It was successful, and I
Yeah.
never replicated that because we all got out of the houses and we kind of got back to our normal things. And I
Somewhat of
said, okay,
normalcy.
maybe I don't need to do that anymore. So the wine tasting virtual and all that. So yeah.
You might want to rethink that, since we're from, different parts of the world, that might be something that you could touch on, to across the world. You never know.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, this is actually pretty. Yeah, I mean, there are guys, they are master of wine and all that who are doing this on YouTube and all kind of things. But yes,
Yeah.
as you say, I mean, it may be interest in. I don't know, for the U.S. market to understand what the wines from here, from the Balkans, are, and yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. This
Yeah.
is
Definitely
this is
difference.
always yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. So, what are some expectations for you and your business the next year or two?
Yeah, well, this is something that I kind of hope to make it because I prepared. I didn't push too much, but the thing that I developed in pandemic and I even ran for 2 3 times. I repacked everything in a membership. So my intent is to launch it probably towards the end of this year for next year.
Hmm.
So what I want to do is okay, it doesn't have to be so it doesn't have a certain date when it will be launched because the idea of a membership, of a 1 year membership, will be to get in this and get access to parts of those things that I already tested, like
Hmm.
the accelerator, for instance.
Right.
And the accelerator will give a sense of the leadership style that you currently have, and then do monthly group coaching calls in which maybe we can do hot seats and coaching and stuff like this, reinforcement of things that you anybody may need from that group. Now the whole thing that uh, I would present in 2025 is instead of having, I don't know, separate programs now in the spring, fall, whatever, the idea of the membership will be, okay, you can stay with me for 1 year. It's not a lot of time that you spend with me. Maybe there are some hours during the accelerator, hours per week, and then a monthly group call, and maybe some other, I don't know, 1 day, half day events, stuff like this. But for sure, you can, if you participate in the membership, I can, measure and take care of you in a different way. It's more accountability. I can kind of be with you when you shift a certain behavior or you change something in your leadership style and stuff like this.
Right.
So
Good stuff.
and all those things are coming to me again because I have clients in the platform that the time working with me varies. I mean, the majority are working for, let's say, 3 months. There is maybe a 20% who maybe are staying more than 3 months.
Hmm.
Uh, Very few are working, I don't know, 1 year, 1 year and a half. I have maybe one or two clients who are really working more than that. I mean, asking the company to extend. And in general, those are guys who are in charge and they can decide for themselves that they really need the support and for longer term. So I
Right.
said, why I can offer that,
Yeah.
in a decent pricing, quite decent. I mean, it's very low, but just to
Yeah.
have you for 1 year and to keep accountable the entire development. Yes, you may have
Mhm.
access to this membership. That's the intent. We'll
That's
see if
great.
this works because I never had this. I mean, I used to
Hmm.
have students for, let's say, in between 9 months and 2 years when I was a partner in a coaching academy. So this is different because that will be, they keep their life, they have their roles, everything, but they will be in a membership with me.
That's
They
great.
can,
So
yeah.
speaking of your program and your membership, how do we reach out to you? How do we contact you? How do we find you?
Oh yeah. Well, I can be found on LinkedIn. My profile, it's my name actually. It's LinkedIn .com /in/ Serban Chinole, or I can be reached on my website. My website is iconsultants.ro. Ro is from Romania. iConsultants, it's iConsultants in one word.
Yep. iconsultant.ro for Romania.
iConsultants.
Yep.
So because
iconsultants.ro.
we are more consultants than just me. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was looking at your website and I was seeing there was a couple other people there that was involved with you. And I
Yeah.
can put the link in the show notes as well when I get the podcast set up and everything for you. So I'll put that in the notes for you. Good link.
Appreciate. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I hope
Absolutely.
I hope we can yeah. I maybe people will get interested. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
just
Well, yeah. It's what we do, right? We promote, we help each other. That's why you come on the podcast. We love to try to help each other and grow. That's what I
I
do.
I really appreciate that, and this is a new channel for me. I mean, I always thought that podcast it's pretty much the same thing as a video, but it has a different package. But it's more
Yeah.
than that because
Yeah.
I listen to podcasts and I see that there is a back end, there is a preparation, there is music, there are all kinds of things.
Yeah.
It's not just a video like perhaps I can do on Zoom or something.
Right.
It's much more than that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I love what I do. I'm really focused on, bringing people on who you are, talk about what you do, and really help, hone in on exactly what you do, why you do what you do, and it's helped spread the word so people can hear you, hear who you are, and really, you know, listen and say, I like this guy, I can work with him, or I want to
Right.
visit this business, or I want to talk to this person. That's why I love
Sure.
what I do. Yeah.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah. I
Appreciate your
appreciate
work.
you.
Yeah, me too. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
appreciate you coming on. Absolutely. And taking the time. And I know we got this time distance here in different countries and we worked it out.
It should be my interest, isn't it? I mean, but it's I really appreciate you and your questions and everything. Thank you very much for doing this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. My pleasure. And thanks for coming on. It's a pleasure meeting you. And we'll keep in touch and we'll talk in the future.
Be well. Thank you very much.
You as well. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Okay.
Ciao. You
Thank you.
too.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye. Bye bye.
You've been listening to the Q.A.C. Team podcast with your host, Charles Luttrell. Connect with us on the web at QACteam.com, TikTok at Q.A.C. Team, Facebook and Instagram at QAC.team. Thanks for your support.